What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and as most of you all know by now, we have been covering this OceanGate Titanic sub story for like the past week. But early on during this story, in fact, while the search and rescue was still underway, well before we knew the outcome, while we were all sitting here counting down the hours of oxygen, this little clip came out, a audio recording of OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush talking. And in this audio, Stockton Rush basically said something along the lines of he did not want to hire 50-year-old white guys to work for his company. I'm going to play the clip for you here in just a moment, but basically that's the gist of it. He didn't want 50-year-old white men working for his company. Now, when I heard that and I saw the situation he was in, I found it really ironic. But you see, this is a problem that is plaguing our society as a whole. And you know, when the local Papa John's doesn't want to hire a 50-year-old white man and they rather hire someone else, that's one thing. But when you're turning down the most qualified applicants on a job like, I don't know, piloting a sub, that's a whole nother situation. That's where things get dangerous. Listen, I don't care if the person who's most experienced is this color, that race, that gender, and you know there's like 400 genders out there now. There's not just two anymore. But anyways, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, black, Asian, Indian, Mexican, white. If you're most qualified for the job, then you should get the job, right? But you see, this is a problem. I can't call it anything else other than woke. This is the woke mind virus that is coming into every industry and absolutely destroying it. Look at Hollywood. Look at movies nowadays. They all suck because they're not hiring the right people to make the movies. They're hiring activists. Look at all of these companies that are suddenly failing. What happened to them? Turns out they stopped hiring the best people for the job. They started worrying about meeting certain quotas, diversity hires. Look at Bud Light. The number one beer brand in America. It took years to get there, but they came out on top because they hired the right people. They had everyone doing the right things. They weren't worried about all of this woke nonsense. They were worried about selling beer. And then they decided to hire some woke activists, and now their company is tanking. But this is happening everywhere, from Hollywood to beer, local restaurants, you name it. People are not hiring the best person for the job anymore. They're trying to hire whoever makes them look more virtuous. Oh, I could virtue signal with my diverse team behind me. And if you got a diverse team of qualified people, then great. But that's the problem. These companies aren't going after qualified people. They're going after people who they can make a statement with. And when it comes to Stockton Rush, much like a lot of these other companies' CEOs, they don't care about that woke stuff. They don't care about progress and racial equality, and they don't care about your LGBTQ+. They don't care about none of that. No. They want to use these unqualified workers as a shield to shield them from criticism, and because a lot of them aren't qualified enough to know what's going wrong when it is going wrong, so they provide no pushback. I want to play this little audio clip so you can hear exactly what this guy has to say, and then I am coming back with a motherfucking rant. I hope you guys are ready.
Yes, I mean, when I started the business, one of the things you'll find, there are other sub-operators out there, but they typically have gentlemen who are ex-military submariners, and you'll see a whole bunch of 50-year-old white guys. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational, and I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to go pursue marine technology, but a 25-year-old, who's a sub-pilot or a platform operator, or one of our techs, can be inspirational. And so we've really tried to get very intelligent, motivated, younger individuals involved, because we're doing things that are completely new. We're taking approaches that are used largely in the aerospace industry, is related to safety and some of the preponderance of checklists, things we do for risk assessments and things like that are more aviation related than ocean related. And we can train people to do that. We can train someone to pilot the sub. We use a game controller, so anybody can drive the sub.
Do you want me to keep it real with you all? Because I am about to keep it really real right now. And if you can't handle it, you might want to go away. But let me tell you the reality of this whole entire situation. You see, Stockton Rush wanted to hide behind the excuse of, oh, I want to hire young people, diverse people. I want to inspire people with my hiring, with my staff, with my employees. I want to send the signal that he's virtue signaling to the world that, hey, everyone, I'm really progressive and woke. I fit right into your cult. Look at my employees. No 50-year-old white men in sight. No white people in sight, guys. The reality is, all of the 50-year-old white men didn't want to have anything to do with OceanGate, because all of them were telling Stockton Rush that he was crazy for making the sub in the first place. So he comes out here, yeah, I didn't want to hire any ex-sub experts, marine experts. I didn't want to hire 50-year-old white guys. No, you couldn't hire them because they all told you were crazy, and they all knew that your sub was a failure. Maybe, just maybe, if you hired a few 50-year-old white guys, you'd still be alive right now, and your sub would be back on the freaking mothership, and everything would be okay, but no. Don't give me this virtuous nonsense of, I want to inspire people. No, you don't. You don't give a damn about inspiring anyone. What you wanted to do was shield yourself from criticism and to make sure that no one on your team was qualified enough or smart enough to know that everything you were doing was wrong, stupid, and crazy. The problem is, all of the experts who actually knew what they were doing didn't want to come near OceanGate. They didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole, kind of like the Grinch. I didn't want to hire 50-year-old white guys. You're a 50-year-old white guy. I don't understand this white savior mentality that creeps into some white people where they almost feel guilty about being white, and then they talk down about other white people as if they're not white. You're a 50-year-old white dude who imploded in a sub. You have no business saying, I didn't want to hire this person or that person, and look where you winded up. The reality is, Stockton Rush didn't want to surround himself with experts. Stockton Rush didn't want to surround himself with people who were really knowledgeable about this space and about submersibles and diving deep beneath the ocean. He wanted to surround himself with yes men and yes women, young people who don't know any better, who aren't going to push, who aren't going to ask questions, who are just going to do what they're told because they know better. That's the reality, folks. And that's the reality when it comes to a lot of these businesses. We're hiring in the name of diversity. We're trying to inspire. No. You're trying to pay cheaper wages and use these people as an excuse as to why you're failing. And that's what's happening here. If by some way, shape, or form, something happened to that sub and Stockton Rush survived, all of those diversity hires, all of those young people on his team, that's who he would be pointing the finger at instead of him taking the blame. Well, we got a lot of young people who are inexperienced working with our company. We decided not to hire any 50-year-old white men because they all knew that I was dumb as hell for making the sub in the first place. All of the 50-year-old white men that deal with submersibles were already warning him about the problem that was going on. But yeah, death by wokeness. I'm telling you right now, if you got that woke mind virus in you, get rid of it. You will live a better life. You will live a way better life. There's no need to walk around all day pretending to be a victim, feeling sorry for yourself, acting like the world is out to get you, acting like all of these other communities of people are bad and they all are out to get you and hate you. The reality is none of that stuff is true. Yes, there's still some hateful, bigoted people out there, but the reality is all of this woke nonsense is just straight out of Mao's playbook. If you don't know who Mao is, and you don't know about what went down in China a couple of decades ago, then maybe you need to look into it, because what we're experiencing in America, all of this wokeness, it's not about diversity, it's not about progress, it's about control, and it's all happened before. It's literally the same exact playbook as to what happened in China years ago, folks. It's nothing new. And at the end of the day, it's costing people their lives. This dude literally exploded at the bottom of the ocean because he refused to hire qualified white people, and instead he hired 25-year-old women who had no idea what they were doing, so he could place the blame on them, and because they wouldn't say anything to him when he's building a sub made out of carbon fiber that literally everyone else knew was going to implode at any minute. Hiring white people is uninspiring. Yet you didn't have any problem trying to go out there and find 50-year-old rich billionaire white men to buy tickets aboard your submarine, did you? Isn't that kind of funny? I thought that white people were uninspiring. Why are there so many white people on your sub adventures? Why aren't you giving free tickets to people of color? If you're so progressive and you want to be so woke and virtue signal, you want to inspire, why aren't you getting people of color aboard your sub? Why are you only focused on selling tickets for $250,000 to mainly white billionaires, 50-year-old white men? Why? Why? These people are hypocrites. And in reality, we could look at everything that went wrong with this ship. This is why it failed. And I'm not saying it failed because he didn't hire white people. No, I'm saying it failed because he didn't hire qualified people. If those qualified people turned out to be white and 50 years old, then so be it. And yeah, I would imagine that most of the sub-experts in America are probably in their 50s and they're probably white. Who cares? As long as you get down to the bottom safely and you get back up safely. I look around the world and there are so many 50-year-old white men diving down in their subs and they're surviving. They're not having any problem. James Cameron is an old white dude. Dived way deeper than the Titanic. He didn't have a problem with his sub. And he also didn't say that he refused to hire 50-year-old white men to help him make it. So, yeah. I mean, it's just another perfect example of how this mentality is dangerous. And it's going to get more dangerous, ladies and gentlemen, because this mentality, it's everywhere. From pilots to people performing open heart surgery. It's no longer about who's qualified. It's about we got to check certain boxes. We got to check certain quotas. We got to make sure we got this many people who identify this way. We got to make sure we got this many people who are this skin color, that many people who are this skin color. And in the process, they're basically throwing all qualifications out the window. So, yeah, you should be scared next time you hop aboard a plane, a train, next time you go get surgery, because no longer are we dealing with the most qualified people for the job. Often, these people, in the name of wokeness, will hire someone off the streets. They'll literally take someone off the streets before they take a 50-year-old white man who actually knows what he's doing. And that's insane, and that's crazy. And it's going to lead to the further destruction of our society. But hey, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. Anyways, let me know what you think about this video down below. Then again, I'm just like a 30-something-year-old white man. Maybe I shouldn't be making YouTube videos, right? Maybe I should save this space for someone younger and more diverse. Let me know your thoughts though down below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.